Today in class, our focus was on solving one-step equations. So if you look at your homework, problem number 1 said x minus 15 equals negative 12. And by now, most of you should be able to look and say, you know what x is. 3 minus 15 equals negative 12. But our focus today in class was to recall those steps that got us there in order to make us more successful at doing multiple step equations, which is the direction we're going. So, x minus 15 equals negative 12. I want x to be all by itself, and in order to accomplish this, I need to add the opposite of whatever is attached to x. Well, I have a negative 15 attached to x, so I need to add 15 to cancel out the 15 on the one side of the equation. Anything we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the opposite side of the equation. So I'm going to add 15 to that side of the equation as well. Well, negative 15 plus 15 is 0, so that leaves x on this side all by itself equals negative 12 plus 15 is 3. So again, we see that 3 minus 15 does in fact equal negative 12. Now let's look at problem 3. 6 over 5 times j equals negative 2. And we've talked a lot about multiplicative reciprocal. And we discussed in class today about how if I multiply 6/5 by its multiplicative reciprocal, 5 over 6, that then I will end up with 5 times 6 is 30, and 6 times 5 is 30, which we know to be 1. So in essence, what happens is these two cancel each other out, and I'm left with only j on my left side of the equation. Now again, just like on problem 1, anything I do to the left side of the equation, I have to do to the right side of the equation. And on this left side of the equation, I multiplied it by 5/6. So I'm going to do the same thing to the right side of the equation. I'm going to multiply it by 5/6. So now negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. 1 times 6 is 6. So j equals negative 10 over 6. And just to perfect this answer just a little bit, I'm going to simplify negative 10 over 6 because they're both even numbers. And we know that even numbers can be divided by 2. So j would equal negative 5 over 3. Now this worksheet also did a review of factoring. And so I'm going to do a real quick review just for you here as well. Looking at problem number 10, we want to determine what number would go into both of these terms, 14 and 35, and that would be 7. And then I need to check to see if I have any variables that are in both terms of the expression, and I do. X is in both terms of the expression. So that's my GCF, 7x. Open my parentheses and ask myself, 14xy divided by 7x is what? Well, if I need to, I can put it off to the side here, 14xy over 7x. My x's will cancel out. 14 goes into 7 2 times, and that leaves a y remaining. I can do the same thing with my 35x over top of 7x. Well, my x's again will cancel out. 7 goes into 35 5 times. And we keep the sign that was in the middle, was a minus sign. So my final solution, 7x times 2y minus 5. Hopefully that gives you a good start on your homework. And we will review further answers and questions tomorrow in class.